In this video we're going to cover how to write data to a file and then read it back in. It's actually not that difficult. Okay, so the function is called write, and first let's create some data. X equals, let's say C, we'll make it 1 to say 20. Then I'm going to make X a matrix, so I'm going to do X equals matrix of X. I'll make it n col equal let's say 4, by row equal true. So then X looks like this. It goes 1 to 20 with 4 columns and 5 rows. Okay, not bad. So the way we write it to a file, I'm going to do a help on write just to show you what it does. Alright, so here's the write. I'm moving it over into the screen. And basically there's a few things in the write file you have to know about. First one is the data, then where you save the data to, then the number of columns, n columns, and append and separate. If you want to make comma delimited, you make it a comma here. This is separating by spaces. So here though, append, basically do you want to put it at the end of the data file. If the data file already exists, you want to append the data. And we'll leave it as false, but we'll change the separated to a comma. So make a comma delimited file. Alright, so I'm going to basically do write. I'm going to write it to my F drive. You need 2 backslashes, even when you want really 1. It might show up in Windows as 1, but within R you need to put 2. And I'm going to call it my R data, basically, well, rdata.csv. Oops, actually I left out what I'm writing. I'm writing the X rdata.csv, and I'm going to put comma n col equal 4, and I'm going to comma do sep equals comma. Alright. So now it's writing the data. I'm going to go to my F drive. Let me resize that window basically. Alright, now I'm in my F drive. And here is the R data. I'll open it. Now one of the things is you see it goes 1, 5, 9, 13. It all seems weird. It seems like, well, it's not the order I wanted at all. 1, 5, 9, 13, 17. It's all over the place. Anyway, I'm going to close this. One of the things, I'm not sure why it has to be done this way, but I'm going to do write. And there's this function T, meaning transpose. Now, you can't do in this write function by row, but you can do T of, and you can do the transpose of it. So I'm going to do the transpose of X. So I'm writing it again, doing everything the same, but I'm taking the transpose. And then we go back here. We'll reopen the data. And voila, now we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Basically the data the way, if I were to do it in R, basically it looks exactly like in the Excel file, looks exactly like it looks in the data in R. So you have to take the transpose. I'm not sure why that is, but that'll make it look the way you want it to look. Store the data you want it. And one last thing that you can do, if you want to read it in, and this you can see this in my other video on reading in data, read.csv, because it's a CSV file, it's a comma delimited file, and I'm going to do basically quote F double backslash again R data dot CSV end quote. And let me call this X2 or X1. X1, fine. And now X1 is this. And there you have it. Oh, one of the problems though is actually I wasn't careful. I should do this with header equals false. Because if you notice, x1, x2, x3, x4 becomes its header. The truth is there is no header. If you look at the data, there's no header. It made the first row the header though, so the default is there is a header. So here we go, x1, and voila, there we have it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a simple way of reading it in. If there was a header, then you'd say header equals true. That's the default. And the names of x1 are v1. So if I did x1 $v1, it would have the 159, the first column, basically. So that's how you'd write the data. Remember, you got to take the transpose to make it look the way you want, and that's how you could quickly read it. And I recommend writing a comma delimited file. It's the easiest to read in my well, maybe not the easiest, but it's an easy file to read in my opinion. And .csv files are easy to read in most statistical software packages. So that's how you write data to a file and read it in.